Village Resource Committee meeting to order at 2:04.
4-3, something.
George, you do invitation, please.
Yeah. Dear most gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you today to take care of the business of the tribe. Dear Lord, let us make good decisions on behalf of our people, and we just give you all the praise. Thank you for the rain, and just thank you for the beautiful weekend we had on Mother's Day, dear Lord. Be with those who have gone before us, and be with our military. Dear Lord, bless this meeting, and we give you all the praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you. Shall we do the roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Curtis Snell,
Here.
Rex Jordan,
Here.
Bill England,
Honey.
Keith Austin,
Here.
Jack Baker,
Here.
Harley Buzzard, Joe Bird,
Honey?
Sean Crittenden,
Honey.
Don Garvin, Frankie Hargis, Wanda Hatfield, Dick Lay,
Honey.
Denise Taylor, David Thornton,
Honey?
Victoria Vasquez, David Walkenstick,
Honey?
Brian Warner,
Honey.
John Masters. We do have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Moving on down, need approval of the April 10th
Motion
meetings.
may be approved. Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Moving on down to Management Resources, Mr. Bruce Davis.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Bruce.
Glad to see everyone. Hope everyone's healthy, wealthy, and wise. So,
We're wise.
wise, good. Okay. It's been a few days since I've got to talk to you, so try to answer any questions we might have, and then I've got some serious business I want to address. So, if you've got any questions, I'll try to answer those first.
Are there any questions for Bruce?
I got,
Yes, Harley.
Bruce, it's been a year or so ago that GV was working on maybe a proposal about getting some cattle and stuff. Are we still looking at anything like that?
Harley, we have a proposal floating around out there that we ran some numbers. GV talked to 2 or 3 bankers and some other people about some programs that we might have with cattle, and we have those. We just need some guidance in what the council and the chief wants to do, so we're just kind of on hold right now.
Okay, well, I was just thinking about that a couple of days ago. I know it's been probably a year or so, but, and I guess actually I thought that we were trying to entertain C&E to kind of come aboard with it and help us with that.
Yes.
But I still think that's a good thing. You know, we've got enough land up there that we can run probably 180 cattle on the thing, so.
Right.
And I just want to bring it up, kind of refresh our memories here on the committee about it.
Okay, yeah.
Keep the thing in.
We'd love to entertain that, Harley, so keep that in mind. Thank you, sir.
One more question on the buffalo. Have we ever really made a plan of what we're going to do with those things? Have we started thinking about something? In the next year or so, we're going to have probably a few calves.
We are, and so, we sold a few, and sold it to a neighboring tribe. Right now, we're doing it more for schools and field trips, and people come to see them. For the publicity that we got, it was real exciting for us to have buffalo again. So right now, we don't have any further plans, Harley.
Okay, I just want to keep it in mind.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
Council, before you, I have a proposal that I would like for you to look at. And I know I'll apologize for it being so short notice, but Ron Shade and Karen Ketcher and I were invited to visit Washington, D.C. last month, and we went to visit the USDA office. And USDA informed us that within this book, we have 47 programs that are available to Cherokee Nation and Cherokee Nation citizens that we miss out on because we have not applied for these programs, or we've just been, for a better word maybe, we just haven't done it. But the first thing that we've got to do before we can apply for these programs are pass this resolution to start our own conservation district, the Cherokee Nation Conservation District, before we can apply for these monies. And Brian is our attorney, and I'll have him to, if it's all right, address and explain to you exactly what this proposal means. Okay, Brian?
Good afternoon. Hey, This,
Hold it. If we're going to address this, it's not on our agenda.
Okay.
We can amend the agenda
Okay?
to put that on there. Is that okay with the committee?
I move that we add it to the agenda.
Okay.
Okay,
So we're going to motion to amend the agenda.
for a second.
Okay.
question.
Yes.
Put it where? Under new business or now?
It would have to be new business, wouldn't it?
New business?
Should be.
After
Okay.
report.
Let's do it under new business. Be after the reports, but then you can explain it.
Okay, so not now.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Being number 4.
We have a motion and a second to amend the agenda.
Make it number 4.
All in favor of amending the agenda? Aye. All opposed?
Okay.
Come back with it.
Okay,
Hey,
Yes.
Bruce,
yes, sir. Okay.
can you give us the cost of the roof or what it cost to the change orders and everything, like what the total cost was on
For
the...
this second
Yeah.
story,
Yeah, the second
Okay.
story and the complex.
I didn't bring it with me, Stick, but I can get it for you.
Can you shoot us an email?
You bet.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Any more questions for Bruce? Bruce, I guess we'll say you did a beautiful job.
Okay. I'll be right back here.
Moving on down to real estate services. It's Miss Brown Ginger.
Good afternoon. You have a copy of my report. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to address them.
Any questions for Ginger?
I have one too.
Yes, sir.
Ginger, on the old property over at Oak Hill, I know we were trying to get that back. Is it still in the works?
It's still in the works, yes.
haven't got it.
We don't. We would have to take that in fee, since they didn't see fit to give it to us, trust to trust.
And so the paperwork is
Yes,
started to put into fee?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Junior, every now and then, every couple of years, I have a question about abandoned railways that supposedly
Yes.
come back to us,
Yes.
the nation. And I had one last week, I think I sent you an email, and I had a question today from somebody else on a different one. And I don't, if you want me to get with you later or offline, I could do it.
If you would do that, and we'll send you some information on that. I was gone on the day that you had sent that, but I'll get that information to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any more questions for Ginger? Yes, sir.
Did the President Trump, he was trying to privatize Indian lands. Is that gonna have anything to do with our lands here in Oklahoma?
I won't know until we get a directive down, or when he decides what he's going to do, I suppose.
Have you guys been keeping?
We've been
a
trying to
pulse-
keep up with it.
pulse on
Mhm.
that?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Good luck.
All right, thank you, Ginger.
Mhm.
Thank you, Chair.
Last call for Ginger. I mean, I didn't mean it like that.
That's all right.
I'll give you a good one then. Oak Hill. What were we waiting on there on the land and trust?
The same, that was the one that I addressed with him?
Yeah.
Yes. They declined to put it from trust to trust.
Okay.
So what we are trying to get it, trust to fee, so we will accept it in fee.
Accept and fee them,
Uh-huh.
then we'll.
And then we'll make an application to put it into trust.
Okay. Well, we have to take it.
Right. We didn't fall within that time period or within the act that they had said that we should fall
South
under.
Plaza here development, most of that is in trust. We've already applied for it to be put in
The
trust.
Cherokee Plaza
Yes.
over here. What we had applied for is in trust.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Harley.
Yeah, one other question, Ginger, and I talked to the chief about this or not, but the old clinic building in Jay, I don't believe the Cherokee Nation has clear title to that thing yet. I think we probably need to look into that and see what the exact contract says. From what I understand, the city of Jay, they have no interest in really keeping that clinic. And I don't think it's completely a done deal yet. So
I knew there was something quirky about that. Let me check on that.
I had a copy of the old MOU with it, but if I can find it, I can certainly get you one, or you can call the courthouse and get one like that for it,
Okay,
and see if we can get it cleared up.
okay.
Just to make sure we do.
I'll certainly check into that.
And that particular one didn't go into trust land either.
Right,
So,
right.
Thanks, sir.
No questions for Ginger? Ginger did a good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on down to environmental programs, Mr. Tom Elkins.
Yes, sir. How are you all this afternoon? You have a copy of our report. I guess just the only thing that I would discuss is the last thing on the last page, that we had the environmental festival this last month, April 21st, and we had a lot of people come through there, especially kids. We had well over 300 kids this time, and a lot of the employees were over there. I don't know if you've ever had time to go by there. It's really, this is the 6th one this year, and it started out with just a few tables and things, and some things that we thought might interest the employees. Then we started getting more kids through there and more kids through there, because that's really where we're wanting to start teaching people environmental issues. And so we've tried to get different schools, and predominantly Cherokee schools, and it has really gotten better every year. And again, it's not just our programs that do that. There's a lot of different programs have booths there, and then we have our counterparts from the state and other tribes there. A lot in the feds have booths there, depending on the agencies, and it's just really a good time. I mean, certainly we feed them lunch and everything, but we work our staff in there and out of there so that they don't have 40 people there at one time from our group, but we wrangle them for the most part, our staff does, and it turns out to be a really good event every year. Seems like it gets bigger and more impressive every year. We had it at the Talking Leaf Job Corps, and we've had it there for the last, I think, 5 out of the 6 years, because it's easier to feed everybody, and the buses run people back and forth, and we have school buses come in there, so it's really a good time. But, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Any questions for Tom? Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, sir.
Moving on down to Secretary of Natural Resources, Sarah Hill.
Good afternoon. I think of the last 5 of the last 6 times we've had it, it has rained cats and dogs all day during the environmental festival, so I'm not sure why that is. We joke, if we need rain, we'll just have another environmental festival. We know that'll handle it. It's always a great honor to be here for the Tribal Council. Probably the most significant update I have for you is in the Sequoia Fuels case. We had our hearing on that case on April 26th, and then it rolled over into April 27th. And we had a temporary restraining order that the judge had granted, preventing them from placing that material into the cell. But that's only to carry you over until you can have a real hearing with evidence and witnesses on that issue. And at that, in order to keep that temporary restraining order and turn it into a preliminary injunction, you have to show that you can succeed on the merits of your claim. So it's a high burden to keep those in place. And I was very pleased that we were able to do that. The judge granted our request, and so that is in effect for at least the next 6 months, and they'll have a review in 6 months of the situation, and the judge will see where we're at. So they will not be able to place that contaminated raffinate material in the cell there on site at Sequoia Fuels. During the next 6 months, he ordered the parties to meet in person on a weekly basis. So every single week, we'll be meeting to discuss how to resolve that and to look at the options there. And so we have already had 2 meetings. So this will be our 3rd one this week. And so far, they've been productive meetings, so I think that we're going to continue to work together and try to find a resolution for that issue there, and looking at all the different disposal options. So that was some good news, a good legal result from my point of view in that case, and gets us an opportunity to get that material off-site so that it doesn't sit there on the banks of Illinois and Arkansas permanently. So that was the most significant update that I have. Certainly, people have been working on their own projects on the canopy, the solar canopy, which I know several of you were interested in hearing more about. That work continues and is going well. We had submitted an application to Volkswagen, who has got a lot of money that they're going to be putting into zero-emission facilities, and they contacted us back on our grant application. I know we don't have any final award letters or anything. They were very interested in what we were doing, and I feel good that that may give us an opportunity to not just build our one canopy, but maybe to expand that project a little bit more, which would be great. Give us even more opportunities for employees to drive zero-emission vehicles when they're doing Cherokee Nation business. I see that as being a great plus for us. But we're continuing to work out the details on that. Mr. Gwynn is working on a project with the Medicine Keepers. We were contacted by the National Park Service over in Arkansas. They wanted to have some traditional folks come to the park and help them identify some Cherokee plants. And so the Medicine Keepers agreed that they would do that for them. So they're going to be working with the National Park Service over the next, I think it's next week, that they're going to go over to Arkansas and help them identify some Cherokee native plants. So we're pretty excited about that. The Medicine Keepers are doing good work. The Cherokee Nation Fish and Wildlife Association sent out about 2,000 welcome letters with cards attached, membership cards attached. So if your constituents ask about that, that's just it'll be part of our mail out every time we get a new member. We're going to mail out a new card. They'll start getting those sort of introductory packets from the Fish and Wildlife Association, so those have gone out. So if people ask about them, they can contact me or Dale Glory for further information about it. And I think those are the big ticket items that we've been working on. Certainly all the other work continues as it always does in my office and in the different departments that I work with every day. Be happy to entertain any questions.
Any questions for Sarah?
Just a comment. Sarah, that's you to be commended on this, working with the court there on the Sequoia Fuels there. That's really a pretty good victory there in the beginning. That's a good job.
Thank you. It's a great team
That
effort.
could go on either way.
It was definitely not an easy battle, and something that took a lot of resources and time from a lot of people at the AG's office too. So it was very much a team effort. And thank you.
Some PR going on wind energy in the news here of late. I saw our former governor, saw our former OU coach. Any changes on how we might pursue that wind energy?
Our project, I think, it's really not affected by the different issues that the state has had. The state has taken away their wind credits that they had provided, which I think is part of what you're seeing, people sort of campaigning against credits for wind energy.
Yes.
Because our project is not on state land, it's not going to be affected by that. So I don't think it has a really big impact on us, at least not on our wind project that we're currently working on.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, a great bring up there, Joe. I appreciate that because I've been listening a lot. None of our money's going over to Germany, is it? Foreign countries, as Barry Switzer would say.
We're getting money in, is what we're working on. No, I mean, the company that is the developer is P&E Wind USA, which is a United States corporation. It is affiliated with a German company. And I think part of that is because the European government has so much, the Europeans have maybe been on the front lines of wind energy longer than some American companies. But P&E Wind USA is the company that we're working with, and it's an American company.
Yeah.
Not the same one that's working with the state of Oklahoma then?
As far as I know, the only project they have in Oklahoma is the one they're working on with us, P&E Wind USA is.
Okay.
Best of my knowledge.
Jury's out. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Any questions?
I just have a quick comment for her.
Yes.
Sarah, could I speak with you after this meeting about another issue?
Of course.
You don't have to leave right away?
No, I'll stick around, no
Okay,
problem.
thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah, for your
Thank you.
report. Moving on down to old business, I see none, and new business. 17053, Mr. Joe Bird.
This is a resolution authorizing the transfer of Cherokee Nation trust lands to mutual help home participants in trust. And I got the okay from Ginger, our one that sponsored this resolution. So if you have any questions, Ginger, you got any comments on this?
These are just homes that are paid off, and the land is currently in trust, and the participants are given the opportunity to keep their, or to put their property in trust or take it in fee status. And that's what this resolution, as well as the one below it, is.
Yes, Harley.
I got a question, and I don't really have a problem with this, Ginger, but I'm just wondering what happens in 100 years with that land and the house is gone and the land is there? Does it belong to the person that we giving it to, or does it come back to the Cherokee Nation?
If it is put in trust,
Yeah.
no, it will be USA in trust for Ginger Reeves, or that
particular
individual person. Yes, yes.
Are there any restrictions on that to say they want to build a smoke shop on the property? Do we put any restrictions on that type of property?
No, it is for residential purposes, and it's right where the house sits, generally within an acre. But if the house were to burn down or any of that, they'd have to go through the same procedure that anyone else would. It would be in trust.
So being in trust, I guess the question is, if they wanted to put a smoke shop on it, could they do that?
They'd have to look at all the restrictions around, if there's, I doubt that there's an HOA, but if there was any other type of restrictions like that, that would be reviewed.
But the property would actually belong to that family from here to eternity.
Yes, yes.
I just want to clarify that.
Question. Put that in form of a motion.
Okay, we got a second on this motion? Number 17053.
Yeah, I got a second.
Yeah, I got a second. We got a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, Ginger.
Moving on down to 054. We'll take that one.
Yeah. A resolution authorizing transfer of Cherokee Nation trust lands to Mutual Help Home Participation Trust. This is the same, correct?
Yes.
Okay. That in form of a motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, last one is the similar.
Moving down to
Victoria,
number 3.
take that, Victoria.
3.
Wake you up.
I'll spell it out. A resolution authorizing Cherokee Nation to lease tribal trust land to the somebody women, Momen. I have no idea what that is. Yonkers, containing 15 acres. Curtis should have read that. He's got his name on it. Do we have any input on this?
Junior, you going to explain those words to us? I can speak 3 languages, and I can't get there with this one.
No, sir, but I will give it a try.
Okay.
I'll give it a try. This resolution is to place 15 acres of land to the SD Muskogee Momen Hoputucky Incorporated, and that would be at Yonkers, 15 acres that's located up there.
Okay.
What are these people?
What is it?
It's my understanding this is for a stomp ground, for purposes of a stomp ground.
Oh, okay. Oh, I guess I put that in form of a motion.
Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. We have any questions?
I have a comment. Is that clause still in if any time the tribe wants to do economic development in any of our leases, then we can call back into lease?
We do have that, basically, not necessarily just economic development, but there is an out clause on our leases.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Crenton.
Ginger, this is no different than lease some land around home what's the difference between this and, say, a hunting lease there, like at Greasy? Nothing.
Basically, no different, no.
Man, I've read through there and I was lost.
Right, and we, every one of them will come through the council before it's leased.
Words kept getting bigger as it went along. A lot of times it'd get easier. Thank you.
Councilman, no? Any more questions? Yes, sir.
You know, my only question is really about the organization. I don't know who this organization is that we're going into an agreement with. Does anybody know who this organization is? Do the people who live near Yonkers know who this organization is?
Probably nobody lives near Yonkers.
Good point. What council are most close to Yonkers?
Mays County, it says. Mays County.
It's in Mays County.
That would be Creek. These are Creek
I think Joel can address this.
I may be a
Like
Creek. You know, it sounds such a mysterious name. How about, what's behind that name?
It's Medicine Springs Stomp Grounds, if that helps out any. They've approached administration several months ago about a place to go, and this was one spot that was that had come open. So we give them the opportunity to lease 15 acres there at the Yonkers property. There's 10 acres of timber, and there's going to be 5 acres of pasture that is going to come off of the lease to the property to this group. I couldn't tell you what the name stood for. It was a good place that they are 501c3 through our
Community development.
yeah, community development, Rob Darty's crew. So that would be one step to figure out more information about the group itself.
But it just kind of bothers me to go into a 5-year agreement where somebody's getting use of 15 acres for $1 a year and control of the land, where nobody around this table knows who these people are that we're agreeing to. That's all.
Hey, Ginger,
Yes.
so we're not leasing this to an individual, we're releasing this to a 501c3.
That's
So
correct.
the question is are they Cherokee? Because this is a creek name, and when we lease to individuals, they have to be Cherokee. Is that correct?
Do you know if they are?
No.
I believe they are, having gone through the community services group and being a 501c3. I think that's a Cherokee community group, and that's why they're incorporated
I mean, they've got
like that.
funding through Rob's crew, so I don't know if that would be the same as our deal or not. We can check to see if they are Cherokee. I mean,
Oh, they got a creek name though.
Yeah, these are
It
Creek
is
words.
Right.
a creek name.
right.
Have we ever leased to non-Cherokees before for ceremonial purposes would be my next question.
Not to my knowledge, not for ceremonial purposes, non-Cherokee, not to my knowledge.
I would make a motion, we table this for 30 days.
I agree. Yep,
Just,
so we can get more information.
Sounds good.
not a bad deal, we just don't know what kind of deal it is. Is that all right?
I'll second your motion.
Okay, thank you.
Got a motion and a second for the table this for 30 days. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. So it's tabled for 30 days, Ginger.
Okay, thank you.
Now back to our new item number 4 here.
We amended Ginger for number 2.
Yeah, we've already been. Bruce?
Moving on down to item number 4, Mr. Davis.
I was just going to say, we're back on new business with this resolution, and with this administration, you know, we've tried to increase our ag production in different ways, cattle, buffalo, and aquaponics. We've looked at several things, and we've also got a new Secretary of Natural Resources, Ms. Sarah Hill. So this administration is trying to do a lot of things to improve the Cherokee Nation and for our citizens. So with this resolution, this is just one of the things that we're trying to do to make improvements. So at this time, I'll let Brian address the council.
Thank you for your time. What this resolution will do is authorize the principal chief to establish the Cherokee Nation Conservation District. And it's the exact same thing that the state of Oklahoma is doing, that this district will exist in our 14-county area. And tribal citizens will be able to come to the tribal conservation district rather than going uptown to the state offices. And it will also allow the Cherokee Nation, it'll help us streamline access to funding opportunities through the USDA. I'm going to first explain the urgency behind this and why why we're bringing it up before you today. Karen Ketcher and Bruce Davis and I spoke with USDA staff when we were up in DC for other meetings and talked about the programs that are available to the Cherokee Nation that we've not taken advantage of, and money that goes back to the Treasury simply because nobody applies for it. So we're trying to fix that and take all of it they'll give to us. But Karen and I were out in DC week before last for Interior and IHS budget meetings, and the Interior meetings got out a little earlier than we thought, so we had time to go by USDA on our way to the airport. We get in there, and this is right around the time they've appointed Secretary Perdue over USDA. And the staff that we'd work with at USDA explained to us that everything's so fluid right now, nobody really knows what's going to happen or when key positions will be filled and that type of thing. So they've encouraged us to come to council and get this ball rolling while they still know who the key players are and how the system's going to work. So that's why we've brought it before you today. So I guess that's basically the presentation.
Yes.
So, okay, so I deal with the USDA office off Choctaw Street quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So this is gonna take a big load off of what they're doing?
Tribal citizens, rather than having to go to Choctaw Street, can come to the Cherokee Nation Conservation District once it's in place.
Okay. My next question is that big old thick booklet of grants that you guys were talking
Mm-hmm.
about, by establishing this district, conservation district, how many of those grants will that make us eligible for?
What do you think, about 90% of those?
I'd say 90%.
Mm-hmm. I think there's 47 or so
47.
in the book. But by taking on this function, right now the Cherokee Nation has to go through those state offices, get our lands put in the database in the system before we can take advantage of these programs. Well, by establishing this conservation district, we'll be able to do that ourselves. So it cuts out a step and helps us streamline
Where
things.
are we at with farm loans?
I'm not sure.
USDA farm loans. Can we get this district established? Right now, Choctaw Street, they got USDA farm loans where they apply for agricultural loans through Washington, D.C. Is this something, are we going to be replicating everything that Choctaw is replicating?
Correct.
Choctaw Street?
We'll be taking, once we establish this conservation district, we'll be able to carry out that function that office provides and the other offices in the 14.
Or it should just be similar to 638. We want to take over all of these programs because we can manage those as effectively.
And it's
probably better.
And I want to reiterate that this simply gives the principal chief the authority to create this conservation district as we move forward, to try to jump through these hoops when we know where the hoops are.
And it blows my mind that we're not interested in getting to the cattle business when we have access to all these different grants. And this right here is brilliant, and I appreciate you bringing this back to us. This is a great piece of legislation, but it just floors me that the Cherokee Nation, we don't want to get into the cattle business.
Mm-hmm.
It just, I don't understand it. But and I'm with Councilman Buzzer here. He's been talking about it for years, and I've been talking about it for 4 years, and Councilman Warner. We just can't get the Cherokee Nation to go into, what was it we brought to you before, Bruce? The branded beef program?
Right. We've discussed the beef operation with having our own beef and process it and sell it. And then put it in our food distribution centers and market it.
We are getting off subject, but I'm just saying, this right here is a huge resource, and all these different grants are a resource, and anyways, but
We got to start with this.
Yeah, we can, if the Cherokee Nation decides that that's where we're headed, this will be a huge step to help facilitate that.
Right.
Thank you for bringing us back. Thank you. I just want to slap somebody.
Any more questions? Yes, sir.
Do we need a motion to approve this? If we do, I'll make a motion.
I've got a motion, we need a second.
Need a second?
Call for the question.
Good job.
All question. All in favor of this motion, say yes. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Needs to go to council.
Motion carried.
It needs to go to council tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you guys for Karen. We called roll here the other day and rules you weren't here, so you were doing a good job.
Moving on down then
Mr. Chair,
yes, sir.
have you got time for remarks from GV?
Well, I'm sure we do.
Okay.
Depends on how long it is.
Short remarks.
Okay, 3 minutes.
We'll get 3 hours and 2 minutes.
Please.
It'll be short because I don't have much to say. I appreciate it. Thank you all for, I just want to tell you a little bit about our trail ride we had at South Saw Creek Park down there, National South Saw Creek Park, last Saturday. It was a splendid ride. We had about 109 people served dinner, and then we had about, I think, 89 riders paid up and enjoyed a good trail ride, morning and evening. And I want to say a special thanks to Councilman Thornton for the meal. It was prepared by James Simmons, and it was outstanding. The ride was. And then on the Buffalo, I'll tell you a little bit about Buffalo. We're doing real good with them, and you know, the question was asked, what we're going to do with them, what's our future, you know. Right now it's tourism, education for the kids, and the chance to, you know, get acquainted with the buffalo and everything. And to increase our herd, we're going to have to increase our capacity in the land they roam on. First of all, we'll have to do that. That's one thing we will have to do. And then other than that, the buffalo, they're in good health, and we fertilized the pasture where they're at and sprayed it. And so we're doing everything we can to enhance the ground that they're on as much as possible. And like I say, they did provide a profit back to us. And of $21,000, we received a grant for $41,000. So the buffalo's not costing us anything. I mean, that's over $60,000 brought back into Cherokee Nation, new money this year. So it's a good program. ITBC and National Tribal Buffalo Association has always got grants out there. We received $70,000, $38,000, $41,000 last 3 years. So it's been a good trade for $500 membership. So, and free buffalo on top of that.
Time's up.
Time's up.
Thank you. Hey, and one other thing, we would love to have cattle.
Thank you, Bruce. You get cheap on
Okay, moving on down to announcements. More announcements? Yes, Mr. Stick.
Some of you guys don't know Johnny Masters. Some of you guys do. But you know, his name's called every month, and for the last 6 years I've been on the council. His family is very generous, bringing snacks and cookies in and so forth from back in the Grove area. But keep him in your prayers. They had called the family in to watch over this man, and so just remember him and your family in your prayers. Thank you, Chair.
Any more announcements? Our next meeting is June the 19th. I need a
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, got a motion, we got a second? Aye. Opposed?
The Rex, tell them, need a bull.